Namaste, angels. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, and subscribing to my videos. I do appreciate it. I want to try to explain a few things while I'm shuffling. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, though. So maybe I should just quickly say what I have to say. I've been meaning to get to this video probably since at least yesterday morning, and I didn't. My daughter kept saying, "What are you doing? Like, you keep saying you're going to record, and you keep finding you doing other stuff." And she was absolutely right. Well, a few minutes ago, I finally sat down to do it, and I got on YouTube. I was preparing some stuff. I was actually looking for my video from last week. I didn't even find it because I got distracted. I accidentally clicked on somebody else's video. Accidentally, coincidentally. Now, this woman whose video I clicked on one of her videos last month too, accidentally, or just started or whatever. Last month it was a Leo video. This month it was a Gemini video. Well, I was meant to see it because this is one of the people whom many of you have told me about trying to take my style, mannerisms, whatever, one way or another. There's just been a whole host of people over the course of the time that I've been on YouTube, and people with far larger channels than me, so and than mine. So it's really, really ridiculous. But at the same time, goes to show, like, even they know what's really up, right? What's really good, and who's really good. But yeah, I get messages from you guys all the time. Oh, I saw this person do this. I saw this person do that, or say that, or sometimes people have even basically like laid out their cards like to just match my reading and like rattled stuff off and been busted by my viewers and things like that. And I had people even downloading my entire video and putting their name on it because I don't, and to that period, to that point, had not shown my face. So it could have been anybody, but people, my viewers, knew that it wasn't me that was posting the video on this other channel. In any case, I've just always been under attack. They say you're under attack is because you're always on the brink of breakthrough and manifestation and being blessed, and that is certainly true about me. Amen. So I'm not complaining in that regard. And YouTube has never been how my bread has been buttered. When I started these videos on YouTube, I already lived in one of the most exclusive and expensive neighborhoods in all of the world, and I still do. So YouTube didn't bring me to that, nor has my channel not being as large as some others caused me to have to go. God takes care of me. The universe takes care of me. I'm a master of manifestation, and all my needs are met. Amen. So I don't think that people that attack me have the effect on me that they wish, but I can't say that they don't have any effect because I have experienced different negativity with my channel. So anyway, this one woman, what's really funny is when I was attacked by the other one, many of you guys know, Louisiana Lou, a couple years ago, I was under extreme attack by her. Ultimately, she had people believing that I had stolen her husband, all kinds of crazy stuff. But she started out by literally making a list of readers, YouTube readers and stuff. And these readers supposedly had attacked her spiritually and were trying to kill her. And I was number one. Despite the fact that, like I said, the other people had larger channels than me and all of this kind of stuff, I was number one. And because people had seen paranormal activity on my channel, not just orbs, but things moving around. I've had different views over the course of the 3 years that I've been on, different views of the table, and then initially of my bedroom. Like, you could see a lot more of my room, the camera that I was using and where it was positioned. And, you'd see things moving around my bedroom, moving around the table, cards standing up by themselves, just standing up in the middle of the table. Definitely the orbs dancing around, running through, showing up at, like very strategic times. And, even more so than that, the very powerful healings that I do, for which I'm known. So much so powerful that strangers purchase them for other strangers. They're not expensive, but they're not cheap either. You know, they're a little over $100 for the basic healing that I do. And I've had many times, and you guys have seen on Facebook, I'll advertise it, IG, you know, my social media in general, that somebody has purchased a healing and it's up for grabs. You know, so that's how powerful my healings are known to be. So I say all that to say it wasn't difficult for her to convince people that I was Jezebel, that I was like the darkest, most powerful being in existence, basically. Female or feminine one at least. And this other person who is now layering her cards, which is how I've clarified my cards, my readings for the entire time that I've been on YouTube. I have over 1,800 videos on YouTube, and so the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the videos. You know, you can just start doing this now, and doing it as if it's something you came up with, and or that you're claiming, or that everybody does. But the proof is there that I, in fact, was basically the only person doing this for years, and you know, I've got a lot of videos to show for it, and that can you know, corroborate that statement, that fact. It's just a little odd to me that she's turning up again, this same person. She was named number 2 on the list, on Louisiana Lou's list. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes open. And I think people like that, not just in my life, but in general, and maybe specifically as it relates to love and relationship, this week, people who have risked their own fate, basically, their own karma, will be paying for it. And those who have done the right thing will be particularly blessed this week. I also saw a lot of pregnancy in my earlier readings. The general and the new moon in Virgo reading that I did, that both of those are published and up since Friday. Do check them out if you haven't already. And a lot of newness and being surrounded by love and family in general. And I pulled out for the first reading because, I don't know, I was moved to. I usually pull these out if I'm doing like a full moon reading, or if I'm doing, of course, a client's past life reading or something. These are my past life oracle cards. But I was moved to pull them out for the general, and I've had them out ever since. And each time I pull them out and I shuffle, love life, karmic relationship, spouse, these are the cards that are turning up. They turned up in both readings. And I do feel that this week, while karmic relationship or karmic has come to be known as a derogatory term, it is not. And I do feel that a lot of us this week will be having karmic experiences. That could mean meeting your soulmate, meeting your twin flame, reconciling with them, reuniting with them if you're in separation, deepening your commitment with them, establishing a commitment with them, severing ties with them if it is a karmic relationship. Karmic relationship, or karmic, really just means like destined, of the universe, something that's sort of beyond our control and containing a life lesson. So, for example, of how it could be just positive and nothing negative or toxic about it at all. Suppose you meet somebody that really treats you like a king, really treats you like a queen, and the lesson is the difference between that and how you've been treated prior. Right? That's not a negative experience. It's not a karmic relationship in the sense that it's come to be known, but it can still be a karmic relationship. That person can go on to be your lifelong partner. You know, spouses could be a karmic relationship. Not a karmic relationship, a karmic relationship. Yeah, so I'm going to put that out there. I definitely see some of that happening. And I also wanted to explain why my past couple of videos I had added Twin Flame to, if not the actual title, to the the picture. I can't think of the correct name right now. The little picture. And the reason is, well, first of all, let me explain because everybody doesn't know. So I don't identify as a twin flame. And the reason I don't identify as a twin flame, because like karmic, it has come to be known as sort of like a catch-all. And my feeling is, I know the prophecies that are connected, associated to illumined beings and other members of the elect on whom the twin flames are based. I was part of the original shifts, the major awakenings that we went through. Some of us went through 2010, 2012, 2015. And so now we have all these new people who are sort of on the bandwagon, and they're twin flame experts. And you can meet your twin flame and 7 signs that you've met your twin flame, or what does it mean? And not everybody even has a twin flame, or at least not to the extent of what they're originally known by and as, which is, again, a certain number of beings, illumined beings and other elect beings with a particular purpose here on this earth. There can be other kinds of people who have, deep connections and soulmate relationships and all kinds of, things, but what twin flames were began as, no. It's not something like that any old person can come and tell you what it is to be a true twin flame, or how to meet one, or that you've met yours, or that you're going to meet yours, that you even have one, because not everybody does. And so I just feel kind of like, dude, I was there. Like, don't try to change the story. I was there as part of the major awakening. I went through it. You can't teach it to me now, you walking in off the street with your bullshit. So because of that, I tend not to, for a very short time only, probably like my first year. So for a very short time in like 2016, used to entitle my videos, at least in part, twin flame videos. And then I stopped. I said, like, I can't do it anymore because I don't identify as a twin flame and I don't like what it's become. But recently I've had people who, after stumbling upon my video and watching it somehow, said that they had seen before my postings, but didn't realize that my videos were for them. So for that reason, I had to rethink my whole thing. And so I have, over the past couple weeks, began to, note that they were for twin flames as well. But I have not changed my, my belief systems, my ideology. I still believe in the prophecies. I still, from all over the world, and, even including the indigenous cultures, they all have the same types of prophecies about the same types of beings. And I still believe that only those beings reincarnated are, the illumined and the elect. And so I just want to make it clear, I'm not like changing my belief system or, trying to be a hypocrite out here. Just trying to reach those who I'm meant to reach, since they've expressed to me that they had difficulty finding me prior. All right, so on that note, I'm going to get started, beginning with party. Massage. I had said I was going to shuffle while I was doing that talking, and I didn't. And forget it. Spirit says romantic dinner. Buy shoes. And no. The cards, I'm beginning with Tantric Union, open to expectancy. So I do feel that can be connected to, again, the pregnancy that I saw. I just saw so much of it, as can this trilogy of light, right? It's the three, the divine feminine, the masculine, and then what they produce, what they create together. But other than that, expectancy is about us not putting limits on the universe, us not putting our expectations and limits on our prayers and what we manifest, right? And answered prayer is all about manifestation. Also air signs and water signs for me, most specifically Aquarius and Scorpio, because of the star very strategically placed here in the throat chakra, and the butterfly very strategically placed over the stomach, like where many of us believe the soul is actually located. That's why you get butterflies in your stomach, or your stomach sinks, or it fills with bubbles when you get anxious. All kinds of different messages come directly to and through the stomach. Also, the buildup of fat that can occur there and how difficult it can be to get rid of, I also attribute to a type of spiritual attack, although there have been many spiritual deities who were particularly large and heavy in the stomach. I just feel that it's an attack. In any case, opening also to reflection. Reflection about, introspection, looking back on our lives, and that takes me back to Tantric Union. So on that note, I will cut into 6. I like cutting into 6. 6 equals love, 6 equals justice, 6 equals equity. The Goddess, which is basically like a goddess of the moon kind of card. And both the moon and the nude feminine body for me are totally about surrender. This is when we're at our most vulnerable, right? She is literally bare, right? Just bare down to her essence. And so you can't get much more vulnerable than that. And so it's all about surrender and taking risks, being brave, and allowing the universe to guide you. Overall energy is love. Beginning with the 10 of Autumn with the Animal Tarot. It's all about family, security. Could be about like inheritance and assets, a home, coming into money or abundance of some type, being surrounded by family, surrounded by love, just feeling good, not being worried, being content, at least in a moment. And opening to the 3 of Autumn, which is all about abundance that is earned and that is coming your way. You deserve it. It's a reward. It's an award. And this could be connected to what I was saying about justice. I talked about that, right? If I didn't, I meant to. I meant to talk about how, in relation to karma, when people wrong us, like try to steal your style, or other ways of wronging people, we can retaliate, sure. And it's certainly in all of us to do so, right? It's human nature. But we don't have to. The universe does reward and punish just fine without us. And people, you don't realize, or they're willing to risk it. They're willing to risk their fate, their karma. I can take her style, I can take her ways, and I can promote myself, and I can become larger, and I can become successful in this sense, on YouTube or whatever, right? To give the example. But, at the same time, maybe you maybe you lose a family member, or maybe you, experience some sort of painful or rough time in your personal life off of YouTube. All because of what you did to me, because you thought you were getting over, because you thought you were being slick. That's the chance we take. But this, to the contrary, is about the good that we do, that we've done, and how it's rewarded. Whether it's in a 3D sense, that we're receiving some sort of reward, or this can be about the universe blessing us. And when the universe blesses us, rewards us, promotes us, then it turns up ultimately in the 3D sense too, because as above, so below. So when they raise us up, when God raises us up and gives us promotion, it certainly shows up down here. And that's what the 3 of Autumn is for me, especially opposite the 10 of Autumn. Other than that, 3 of Autumn as a 3 can be about parties of 3. Not necessarily a love triangle, but certainly possible, especially during the love reading. And also perhaps about relationships that were formed or forged at work or in your career. You met somebody while you were on a business trip or, doing whatever you do for work. They walked into your establishment, your place of business, that sort of thing. And it could be something that's turning into a karmic relationship without the air quotes. Longevity. You go on to be married, to have many children together. That's your reward for your good karma. And for the karmic lessons that you learned prior, that's your reward. Right now you're doing well for yourself. If you are single, you're spending time getting to know yourself better. You're doing the inner work, preparing for when you do meet that person, which again could be this week. Where it relates to relationships, the 9 of Autumn, like the 10, that was just opposite the 3, is also about, again, longevity and success in relationship. Opposite the 3 of Autumn, it can definitely be something connected to your work. Again, a relationship that was formed at work or with a coworker or something like that. Your success and has brought you financial security and the reward of much deserved time off. Deserved reward for good karma. And it helps you to be able to have time to enjoy your own company. That's the inner work I was talking about. You may suddenly have a brilliant idea for a business or a self-employment opportunity that will be very successful. Or a relationship. Or a business opportunity with a relation, with somebody from your work, with a friend that maybe can turn into something more serious, a more serious partnership this week. Opening now to the 2 of Spring, which is the divine union or twin flame card of the tarot. 2 is also about faith. So it's faith in connection to your manifestation, in connection to your being deserving of this reward, abundance that is coming your way. Your vision, creativity, and dedication to your cause have brought you great success. In fact, it may be in your best interest to get a partner to assist you in your endeavors or to expand the number of people who are helping you. 2 of Spring. And the 9 of Summer. It's all about our dreams coming true, our wishes being granted, our prayers being answered. It's successful manifestation of the types of partnerships that we want and deserve. Now's your time, the time when your dreams come true. Don't worry about how this will happen, because sometimes you can say, like, how am I going to get together? I was talking to one of my clients yesterday, and she's like, I'm in Nova Scotia, and this guy's in Texas. Okay, crazier things have gotten together. They had been like in total separation and not speaking or anything for a while. And then he added her back on social media. Why? Why do you need to reconnect with this woman from Nova Scotia? The universe has its ways. It can make things happen. So yeah, don't worry about how it will happen. Just give gratitude to God for all that you have and all that's still to come. And so it's important, again, to have faith toward that manifestation, toward those prayers, towards those intention, that focused intention that you're making. It's important to have faith that it'll actually come true. And maybe in this case specifically as it relates to partnership. 2 is also about partnership. So that dream partnership that you wanted, showing up. The Prince of Autumn. Maybe it's a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. If it's not, what I mean by traits or attributes, it is going to be somebody who is dedicated, who is committed, who is loyal. Once they set their mind to it. Who is methodical, makes plans, who is very grounded. May not be as romantic as you like. Or may have an interesting way of showing their love. But that doesn't mean that it's not genuine because they don't love the same or speak the same love language as you. Right? I talked a couple of weeks ago about how, I dated a Virgo, a Libra Virgo cuspian. So of course Libra also ruled by Venus. Venus currently located in Virgo. So it was that I was talking about Venus in Virgo. So to give you that kind of, to give you an idea. And I was talking about how he used to show his love, appreciation, interest in me by trying to do things for me. You know, I will wash your car. I will, take you to do this. I will accompany you here, support you in that. The other day, my good girlfriend and I, we had our own little private turn up in this huge 5-star luxury hotel room. Her boyfriend, I'm going to use it loosely because they haven't really talked about commitment, but this really goes to my point. Haven't really talked about commitment, but he does these things for her. He too is a Libra. So again, ruled by Venus, which is currently located in Virgo. So showing this sort of love. He got her first this one room, and he's like, yeah, I wanted you and your friend to, have a good time. So I got this one room, and it was nice. Had a terrace that wrapped all the way around the hotel, so we could walk around. And it was on the 16th floor, so it was, a nice view and all that kind of stuff. But then he ended up getting, for her last day, cabana room. And sort of like beating himself up. Like, this is what I should have got you and your friend, like from day one, to really, so you guys could really have fun. Because he's in the music industry, so he knew he wasn't going to be around the whole time. He had to be, they had the VMAs and stuff this week, and so he was busy working. Megan Thee Stallion was in the same hotel as us. She was part of all that on the VMAs and all that. She performed. Anyway, he was like, I should have gotten you this better hotel room to make. It's that kind of thing. Like, not saying I love you, which is what she's looking for, because she's a Scorpio. So she goes, well, I'm gonna approach him this. I'm like, why? I kept saying, like, why? He just told you how he feels. Not everything has to be said, with verbal language or words at all. There's different ways to make a statement. And so that's the kind of person the Prince of Autumn is. And of course, it'll be to varying degrees of what he can afford to do and make happen, but it's that sort of thing, how he's going to show you. Overall energy is the moon. It'll be important for us to pay attention to our intuition and to go where we're guided to go, even if we don't know exactly where that is or what that means, right? To trust, to have some faith. It's important to trust your intuition, even when you're unsure of what's happening. All will be revealed soon, so worry is unnecessary. Major Arcana card 18, the moon, represents the sign of Pisces. I don't know if you guys can hear that music that just started. I don't know if that's my kids or what that is, but it's Diana Ross, The Supremes. That's what it is. I forget the song. Oh my goodness, there's a lot going on around me right now. There's like the sirens and stuff too. So I think there's a message of healing for someone between the sirens and that song. Is like, I know she said something about you came into my heart and something about surrender. Baby, baby. Where did our love go? I think is what that song was. So that could have been a message. That whole little whatever just happened just now could have been a message for somebody. In any case, I'm going to begin with freedom from the hashtag creepy deck and opening to work. So again, it's going to be about meeting somebody at work, having met somebody at work, developing a relationship. Freedom, right? Very Two of Cups relationship. Under a full moon, maybe within the next couple of weeks. I think the 14th, September 14th is the full moon in Pisces. So this could be a message for us right now, that's when something will come together, like it's beginning now. And then upon the full moon in Pisces, maybe within Earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, or it could be something that is extremely successful. Again, there's room for longevity and growth there. Success in the relationship. It's very Ace of Pentacles like, opposite this very Two of Cups like card. I was getting something else from money. Again, could be connected to meeting somebody at work, like where you earn your money. Money. I'll do one more. And blonde female, which is a representation for me in this deck of the Divine Feminine. So it could be specifically our work where we're meeting this person, or us who is meeting or dealing with an earth sign, or earth sign like person. Wow, that's my representation of the Divine Masculine in this deck. That's pretty awesome, on the heels of the Divine Feminine card. Dark male. Overall energy is the Ice King. It's a very Emperor-like card from me, Emperor from the traditional tarot, representative of a number of signs. You see the Leo here, right with the big white lion. And this guy is both very Mercurian to me and also Martian. You know, so he represents Mercury, ruler of Virgo and Gemini. It also represents Mars, ruler of Scorpio and Aries. And then we have, of course, with him being the Ice King, the air signs naturally come in. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius also tied to this. But it's more so about control for me. It can be representative of a married man, a father, you know, somebody that's like married with children, as they say, marriage material, which Virgo men to me are very much marriage material. Like they're always interested in getting married, in my experience, you know, not just like playing around. And I've had experience with a lot of Virgos. I have an ex that's a 9/19 Virgo, one that's 9/11. I just sort of have that Libra Virgo Cuspian 9/24. I've just had Virgo. Even my Divine Masculine, he's a Scorpio, he's a Virgo moon. You know, so it's like all of that. Marriage material, marrying kind. Could be a divorcee, a widower, some sort of authority, a boss. Maybe you're getting into a relationship with your boss. Talk about somebody getting involved at work. That could be happening too. My fortune teller cards beginning with Lovers. There are two paths ahead. Be true to yourself. So one path leads, you know, toward maybe where somebody else would have you go, right? Somebody following somebody else's ideologies, belief systems, or doing the right thing or the ethical thing, the moral thing, based on some sort of, I don't know, maybe church teaching or something. And the other is where your heart says to go, right? Where your heart and mind and soul says to go. And opening to Fire. Let go of emotional upheaval and embrace the renewal of the present. Lovers. Okay, we got two there. Angel is one, the first. Your angels are guiding and protecting you on your spiritual journey. Also, patience will be required. Slow down, change your attitude, and clear your mind. Patience can definitely be required when it comes to the Knight of Earth, Knight of Autumn, Knight of Pentacles, whatever. The guy that was just here a moment ago on this deck. Yeah, patience can be required to him. He is the one knight that's always known for reaching his goal, but he's the slow and steady wins the race type. So you can be like, all right, like, are we ever going to get there? Come with it. Also, birth. Universal energy brings you opportunity and possibility. So this is, again, what I've been seeing. Not only the birth of babies and actual pregnancy, but being pregnant and fertile with ideas and projects and new businesses and new relationships and love and just furthering ourselves, right? New ideas that are going to propel us forward towards some sort of growth, expansion, very possibly courtesy of Jupiter. And we have these two cards showing up together that look very much alike. I think the same thing happened in the moon reading. These two cards showed up opposite one another. And on that note, I'll cut this one. and it is the devil. Take care immediately to avoid temptation and deceit. So this could be tied to some sort of karmic relationship, and give another meaning to the Lover's card. The Lover's card can be about a heart versus head decision for me. And sometimes we can be, fueled by lust and things connected to the devil, and not really thinking with our heart or our head. Thinking more so like other areas of our body, nether regions, as they say, like down there where the devil is, right? He's down there. Devil also represents the sign of Capricorn in the tarot, so this could be more earth energy coming in, and just guidance to, be aware. And I talked about people stealing from you, people not doing right. That's the temptation and the deceit. It's a warning for you not to be that person who goes about things the, wrong way, who risk their fate, risk their karma, doing something that is not appropriate. Is not just. And love life. And spouse. See, I told you. This is why I had to use these cards again. I keep opening to love life, spouse, and karmic relationship all weekend. Spouse. Authority figures. Somebody could be going before a justice of the peace, getting married, communal living, maybe moving into together. Spouse. Wisdom. So coming into some kind of clarity or knowledge, information, maybe about your spouse or your partner, your mate. And Celtic also came up. And for me, what I got from it was tied to the devil. The devil from the tarot, Major Arcana card 15. For the masculine's advice in the moon reading, I think. And I got like a Irish Catholic kind of feel from it. I mean, a person doesn't have to obviously be Irish Catholic, but it was translating to following some sort of belief system that was keeping you limited and making you feel like stuck, like you have to stay in a relationship that you don't want. Is knighthood showing up. And like you can't move toward what you feel is more appropriate to you, having trust and faith in not only yourself and the universe. Overall energy is medicine man or woman. So it could be a spiritual person, somebody that identifies as maybe a witch or a bruja, practices some sort of metaphysics, is an intercessor perhaps like myself, or an herbalist, holistic healer. All right. Pardon me. Like when things are coming through, sometimes I'm just like, if I touch stuff, it gets stronger and I sort of drift off. All right, I'm back. I think I'm going to start with these and these, from the perspective of the masculine. So I'll put these to the side for a sec. I'm making a mess. The divine feminine, masculine as it relates to the feminine, himself, the union as a whole. Are we in frame here? Overall, What the masculine would have the feminine do, contribute, surrender, whatever, how you want to put it, toward the union. What he himself is willing to give to it this week, right? The energy he's giving toward it. What the universe would have each or both or the two of us to give, put toward it, and even wants to help us with, but we have to first affirm because we have free will and we have to ask for the universe's help. Give it permission to intercede in our life, and the outcome. Same thing for these. And I'm going out of order. Divine Feminine. Listening. So this is very Aquarius again. Star showing up here. It's about communication. It's a communication that we're going to receive or that maybe we'll make to somebody. It's going to make us very, very happy. And it's going to bring us clarity, provide us with the wisdom that we saw showed up. Right? To give us some insight. It's going to illuminate a situation, whereas maybe we had been in the dark about something. What's done in the dark comes to light always. You see darkness here, but then it's coupled with the sun. So what's done in the dark comes to light. Your plans will work out well, bringing you happiness, prosperity, and success. You'll garner the recognition for your accomplishments that you so richly deserve. And the situation may involve an Aquarius and or a Sagittarius. The masculine as it relates to the feminine, and quite possibly specifically to these two cards here. Oh, Sacred Union and Balance. So Sacred Union is pretty straightforward. You know what this is about. And this is how the masculine, again, in relation to the feminine. So she could be getting information about this, clarity about this, about how he feels about you. Like I just explained or talked about how I was able to ascertain how the guy I was seeing felt about me, and how I explained to my friend, you know, she should be able to see how the guy that she's dealing with feels about her, you know. But this is like clarity, something coming to light, becoming more clear, and maybe through the universe's help, through karmic energy, with Major Arcana card 14, Balance, which also represents the sign of Sagittarius. So again, the Sagittarius could be involved, or this could just be courtesy of Jupiter, the planet of growth and expansion, karma and luck, which rules Sagittarius. Could be who's providing us with all this help and support. Major Arcana card 14, Balance, is actually temperance in the traditional tarot. For me, it's all about being made whole, right? Healing and holding. So where you felt void, where you felt lack, where you felt like somebody had taken something from you, right? Robbed, stolen. It is being filled in. And so it's kind of justice-like too, where everything's being evened back out, balanced back out. Also, this card is about compromise and collaboration, coming together, maybe despite our differences. One is black, one is white. We can still come together and work, make some beautiful stripes. And so maybe, whereas differences had been holding the masculine back prior, or some sort of ideology, like maybe because we do work together, it's inappropriate, or because you're my boss, or I'm your boss, it's inappropriate. Like, despite those differences, we can figure out how to work together. I'm older, you're younger, you know, I'm tall, you're short, I'm skinny, you're fat, whatever it is, that we thought would prevent us from being able to be in a relationship before, coming together in some sort of compromise and balance despite those differences. And maybe because of some truth that came out, because of something that was illumined. I started out with the card called Freedom a moment ago, and it's like the truth will set you free, right? When these things are illuminated and stuff comes to light, it is very freeing, because then we know how we can move. The masculine as it relates to himself. Spiritual growth. So this is growth, expansion, again, courtesy of Jupiter, which Major Arcana card 10, the wheel, represents the planet Jupiter and the sign of Sagittarius. Yet again, it's also connected to the fixed signs. So we have some other signs that may be impacted in a particular way. Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus. Expect a sudden positive change in your life. You can now move forward and make great progress. So something that was holding the masculine back, again, maybe some sort of difference, it's lifted this week. The veil is lifted. It's uncovered. Again, something may just physically come to light, some sort of information or truth, and that allows for the growth and expansion. Like despite what was holding you back before, and any differences or inability to compromise prior, all of that goes away. This is also promotion from the universe, like which I also mentioned. When the universe raises you up and helps you to grow, helps you to expand, it's definitely going to show up down here in your life too. Some sort of growth and expansion in the 3D. The masculine's feelings on the union as a whole, and it is this air and water coming together. But it's called balance, and it's a very temperance-like card for me, which again, temperance in the tarot represents the sign of Sagittarius. So it's like Sagittarius, or Jupiter really stepping in this week to support us all in our relationships. It's coupled with the Devil. Major Arcana card 15, Ego, the Devil. You may find that you're trapped in your situation, but that's not true. Be careful not to overly focus upon material wealth and break free of negative thinking. So Major Arcana card 15, Ego, or the Devil, represents the sign of Capricorn. So again, that Capricorn or other earth sign may be involved. There could be air and water coming into play here too, but also, again, more Sagittarius. And then more importantly, this card is about like what it looks like. Somebody has something to say, and it's this masculine. You see these little spheres? There's one here in his throat chakra, one here on his third eye chakra. There's one here that sort of blends in with this yin and yang symbol that's on his crown chakra. So again, very strategically placed over the communication centers. Like he has something to say, something needs to come out, and it will help him to heal in the area of love and emotion. We have this very blue woman she's content, right? She looks very peaceful, happy, and it's he who looks afraid, broken in some way. Like these words, he just can't get them out quick enough. They're like killing him. It's killed to hold this in anymore. So there's something that has to be said. It's been holding him back. It's been restraining him. It's been holding him captive. But like I said, the truth will set you free. So that's what's going to release him from these chains, is when this thing is communicated, whatever it is. And it's going to help him to feel more whole and balanced and healthy again. Healing and holding. Overall, Goddess. So it's about surrender. And it is coupled with, the Goddess, right? This is definitely Venus energy also. The Queen of Winter. Experienced, self-sufficient, brilliant, and funny. All of your life experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth. What did I say? Truth comes out. The truth will set you free. And so it has to come out now. It's time to declutter your home, to clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, like whatever this is holding you back here, and to disengage from people who create more drama than happiness. So if it's somebody that's in your way, or some sort of entity that's in your way, you want to release yourself from that too. Again, set you free. This truth, this information, this clarity, this wisdom, this enlightenment into which we can come if we just surrender will set us free, or help us to set ourselves free from the people, places, and things that restrain us and hold us back. The Queen of Winter is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Could very possibly be, involved here at play. Or it could be representative, like I said, of Venus herself, or even, Mercury, even though it's a queen. What the masculine would have the feminine do contribute surrender toward the union this week. It is transmutation, taking all the negative stuff and turning it into positive, turning it into love, using it toward positivity. It's more fire energy, could be more of this Sagittarius, as well as Leo or Aries energy connected to this. Again, could be Jupiter himself still at play, or even Mars. And it's about taking negativity. Now, And we see a lot of cards about balance too. We got this one that's called balance, this one that's called balance, and now the Two of Autumn, which can very much be about balance too. Balancing work and play, balancing your social life with, like, you know, your business, your family, the things you have to take care of or you feel bound to. Can also be about needing to make a decision, usually about that has to do with the earthly. So how many hours to work, where to work, whether to work, you know, relationships and things connected to the earthly. But it's also, for me, very much connected to the energy that I feel when I hear Rihanna's song, Take a Bow. It's about like the same old bullshit for me. Just this seems to be coming around like deja vu from hell is what I tend to call it. And you know what? It's the line where she says, like, this looks like a rerun, please. What else is on? It's like that sort of thing. Like, I don't want to be bothered with that. And coupled with transmutation, there's a request, basically, to take all those kind of negative emotions and, you know, your attitude and to release that and let it become something more positive and love that helps you to move forward instead. So masculine asking us to also surrender and to cut those negative emotions and cords of attachment away, to free ourselves too, right? This woman has just freed herself, right? She's rising now. What the masculine himself is willing to give, contribute, surrender toward the union. Wow, it's like his prayers, like praying for reunion, praying for a second time around, praying for abundance and blessings, blessings upon blessings. Major Arcana card 20, renewal, is actually judgment in the traditional tarot. Represents for me the planet Pluto and the sign of Scorpio, which it rules. Very much about abundance that is earned, sort of like the Three of Earth that we've already seen, the Three of Pentacles, only stronger, this Major Arcana. So it's very positive when judgment shows up. In terms of love, you know, love is a form of abundance, so that means that is coming for you. It could be about second chances, the second time around, getting back together, reconciliation, which we've already seen and talked about here in this reading. Also, as it relates to relationships, it could be about coming to a point, realizing we're at some sort of crossroad and we need to have a talk, right? We need to break this down. And where do we go from here, if anywhere? Some people will decide to separate, and that'll be for the best. And some of us will decide, you know, we're going all the way together, and that's for the best. It's about like really figuring that out. And it is in the form of a blessing. It is in the form of a positive situation. So even in the case of a breakup, it's a good thing. It's what you need to do. It's people that don't belong together that are separating. So similar to what I said before I even laid any of the cards about the karmic relationships. Some will be, you know, going all the way, and some will be karmic relationships, in air quotes. What the universe would have each of us or both of us do, and even wants to help us with, but we have to first affirm, is emergence and Ten of Summer. So this rise, again, wants to help us to rise, similar to what we see here. And this is like a phoenix rising from the ashes, like despite the negative things that have happened in the past, you know, being able to make a comeback to full emotional fulfillment and happiness, and being surrounded by love, and maybe even starting a family, maybe even marriage. Just really, really positive energy. It's time to express your love and appreciation for family. It may want to help us to figure out how to say that too, or how to show it, right, in the different ways that people can. You know, as I also mentioned in this reading. And we want to show that love and appreciation to family, you know, be it relatives or chosen family, like who we choose to call family and to bring into our lives and to show our deepest selves to. Our closest friends, our loved ones, our romantic partners. Congratulations also may be in order on happy, fulfilling marriage, as well as raising happy and balanced children. And the outcome, justice. I hate to say I told you so. But every time I say something, even when I'm going off on a tangent and I have no idea why, You know, I say, maybe it has to do with this. At the beginning, maybe it has to do with this, maybe it has to do with that. I have no idea why, but there's always a reason. It is never for no reason that I'm saying these things. So I talked about justice, I talked about fairness, I talked about equity, I talked about karma, which is represented by the number 8, and that I felt that this week, not just in my life and the experience that I had just had prior to starting this reading, but for all of you, I felt that's why I was meant to tell you, karma's in play in a major way. And so it will either work out for you like this, in the blessed way, or, you know, the universe will take care of you. Well, the universe will take care of you either way. It'll either reward you, or, you know, punish you. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, as they say. Wow. I think I should just do advice. I didn't realize how long I had made this reading. And I want to be able to get it to you guys as soon as possible. So further messages to the masculine is Major Arcana card 3, the Empress. So somebody to whom you're very, very attracted, perhaps this extreme, you know, you just find this woman really brilliant and strong and sexy, you know, in a physical sense, sexual attraction, abundant, you know, or the ability to help you maybe to grow and to be abundant. Also, this can be about you, more directly about yourself, and abundance that is on your way, courtesy of Venus. Right? Venus, who represents the Empress, ruler of Libra, Taurus, and Gemini. Could also have to do again with some sort of party of 3, and maybe bringing a third person into the world. Pregnancy this week, giving birth this week, or starting something else new, right? Co-creating something else with someone. It's time to hop into action. Use your natural creativity to bring forth prosperity and success in your life. For the feminine, the King of Winter, intelligent, impartial, respected, and unemotional. At this time, it is very important that you communicate clearly, be objective and unemotional, and act as professionally as possible. If you need advice, seek out the most experienced expert that you can find. The King of Winter is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Could be a lawyer or a judge. You know, some of us maybe are getting married or separated or something. King of Winter can also be about the communication that I said that needs to be had. And it's very important to say what you mean and mean what you say, whether you're the masculine or the feminine, you're the receiver or the giver, or both, you know, just very important to be clear. Masculine, you're guided to take a leap. It is the Fool. Have the courage to embrace change, to take risks, and to be adventurous. So don't be chained to your past situations like you were with that devil. It's important to free yourself and move on to something new. Allow things that are dead to be dead. Coffin, natural endings abound. Something's coming to an end. Again, it could be a relationship, and this could be an actual legal separation or divorce that's coupled with it. Or perhaps it's involving an earth sign, air sign rather, maybe specifically male. Natural endings abound. Take care with your health. So again, it's about doing what's best for you, even if that means separation. Masculine, I like this. Leaving or travel. So this is about movement for you, and you can actually be, of course, leaving or traveling. Maybe going to visit someone, taking a risk. Should I? Yes. Look, this guy's got his, like he's hitchhiking. He's got his thing. He's on the road. He's got his dog and his stick with his clothes in it, and that's it. And that's what I feel you are supposed to do too. There's some area where you're meant to like throw caution to the wind and just go for it. And do what you've been wanting and meaning to do for a while. I feel that this is a while in the making for you. Feminine for us. Food and hunger. This card showed up for the feminine as part of her advice in the general reading as well. And I talked about it being connected to us maybe hoarding and keeping things, holding on to things of which we need to let go because we've always been afraid of lack. Right? When this card shows up as an indication that maybe you've overdone, and because you've always been afraid of not having or of lacking, or you have to take all. And then maybe that prevents somebody else from having some, but you don't care. Like, you have to do this. And we don't have to. We can all eat is what I had to say. So this could be going back to things like what I discussed in the beginning of the reading, too. Like, you can give somebody else their credit and their props. You don't have to act like you created something and steal somebody else's stuff, because it's only going to come back on you one way or another. Whether they come back on you and beat you down, like, or the universe, has something in store for you. We all pay. There's enough for us to go around, or enough food and work and opportunity and everything. It's limitless, especially when you're dealing with people who are supposed to be truly spiritual, who have who are of a particular consciousness. Then we're supposed to understand that what we're able to manifest is limitless. Stop putting restrictions on it and thinking with your 3D mind like there's not enough for everybody, and so you have to take. Because you don't. And I definitely think that was an important message for the feminine, because like I said, this is the second time it's coming up this weekend in our advice. Ooh, masculine passion. This is a very Two of Wands kind of card again for you. So it's with this woman. She may be a Gemini, Libra, Taurus specifically. You find her extremely physically attractive. May even want her to be the mother of your children. And maybe you've been holding back from going for it. And it's time to change that, for y'all to co-create something. And feminine, it is another sort of party of three. It's children. It's a very Empress-like card for me. Maybe not as sexy, but it's our own version of the Empress, so to speak, because it is about fertile energy, right? Children is to what we give birth, and we raise them up. So we create them, and we raise them up, and we grow them, and become more abundant with them around. And so it's that sort of thing too. The same way the Empress is meant to make the masculine feel that way, there is something that we're meant to nurture this week and to grow. And I do feel that it's positive too. And again, it can have to do with actual children. Some of us finding out this week that we are pregnant and or going into labor. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the reading, that you found it helpful. Thank you again for joining me, for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you again soon. Namaste.